Argentina and Spain, both unbeaten so far, 7-0, with the winner playing Greece for the gold medal on Sunday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. And the U.S. struggled against Greece in the first game. They'll be playing for the bronze.
Well, it started off well for Team USA. Dribble penetration, baskets in the lane, but then Greece got it going. Easy run out by Baby Shaq, short Siounitis. Then he did some damage down low, scoring inside on LeBron James. The heart and soul of Greece, Dimitrios Diamantidis with the fadeaway at the horn. And an assortment of breakdowns versus the pick and roll. Some outstanding deep shooting by Greece, and they will get to the finals.
They shot .625 from the field in posting a tremendous upset, 101-95. We're ready to go, Spain and Argentina, and it is Argentina controlling the tip. A number of NBA players on both of these teams, more so with Argentina. People you're familiar with, Manu Ginobili, San Antonio Spurs giving it up.
Jim, if you're a fan of basketball, you're going to love the great team play and ball movement of both of these teams.
And Spain has had domination over Argentina in recent meetings. They've run off 9 in a row, and a foul called on Spain to start out. Let's check out the starting lineups covered by State Farm. For Argentina, Nocioni, Scola, Oberto, Ginobili, and Sanchez. Garbiosa, Jimenez, and Gasol up front for Spain. Navarro and Calderon at the guard spots.
6 NBA players on the court to start this game.
And it's Argentina getting the lead.
Well, if that face and name looks familiar, that's Pepe Sanchez, who played for John Chaney at Temple and started 116 straight for the Owls.
And the rebound collected by Oberto.
Despite the fact that Spain has beaten Argentina 9 straight, I think they have the psychological advantage.
Here's Nocioni on a 3, and Argentina goes up by 5 right off the bat.
Nice. Nocioni is coming off an NBA season, his second with the Bulls, where he really improved his outside shooting, making him a more effective weapon for Scott Skiles.
And he has been hot from three-point range in this tournament, 12 of 26 with that hit, now 13 of 27. Spain trying to get on the board about a minute and a half in. And a steal by Ginobili. Manu Ginobili coast to coast. Tipped in by Oberto.
Well, good job. We've seen Ginobili go coast to coast. I think it was Scola.
It was Scola.
But a great job on the backboards by Scola, who may be the next Argentine to the NBA.
Spain missing on the 3 as Nocioni takes down the rebound.
Argentina, I believe, with the psychological advantage.
Nocioni had it knocked away. It's out of bounds to Spain. Remember, the FIBA rules differ from the NBA. 10-minute quarters instead of 12. Shorter three-point line, and you foul out on the 5th.
Like the NBA bonus in the 5th foul of each quarter.
And a foul called here that will get, I don't know if they'll call a shooting foul or not. Calderon was fouled, and he is going to the free throw line to shoot 2.
This is an outstanding Spain backcourt, one that has given Argentina trouble in the past. Calderon, a member of the Toronto Raptors, going into his 2nd season, undrafted but signed last August by Toronto.
It's amazing, Fran, that first game, the United States being upset by Greece. And you know, having watched the game, having looked at the box score afterwards, I've come to the conclusion the U.S. didn't lose that game. They got beat by a team that played better.
Well, again, because of FIBA rules, these teams play very, very good 5-man basketball, and NBA rules are not set up that way, and Greece picked Team USA apart.
And another three-point hit. That one from Manu Ginobili.
Manu Ginobili, the only player to ever win an NBA title, an Olympic gold, and a EuroLeague title.
Terrific start. by Argentina as they come out having scored 10 of the first 12. Argentina, the defending Olympic champions. But as we touched briefly, Spain has beaten this team 9 straight times.
What you'll like about both teams, Jim, is they can play slow or fast.
Pau Gasol with the rebound for Spain. Here's some of that fast by Spain, but they're unable to convert. No field goals yet for Spain, almost 3 minutes in.
These teams know each other so well because most of them compete with and against each other in Spain.
Ginobili with a pitch out. Now Ginobili lines up the 3. That's his second 3-pointer.
One of the things Coach Hernandez talked about was the exhibition games meant very little.
Argentina, Spain is yet to score from the field. Argentina averages 89.5 points a game. Spain better than 93. Spain shoots it better. Slight 3-point percentage difference goes to Spain as well.
All in all, these teams are very similar. They each have a superstar, but an awful lot of good, solid role players.
And Spain at the rim will be getting to the free throw line. Garbayoso will be on the line. Nocioni picking up the personal foul for Argentina.
Argentina's coach, Sergio Hernandez. These guys who coach in Europe, Jim, in international play, they're very crafty. They don't show their hand during the exhibition season. So when asked about Spain's domination, he said, that is history. The only thing that matters is the World Championships.
And that was the attitude that Greece took in the first game in upsetting the United States. 101-95. Greece shooting .625 from the field for the game and had one stretch in the third quarter in which they made 14 of 18.
Here you see Pau Hernandez, the Spanish coach. Both of these teams really have an idea of how to play.
Argentina off to a great shooting start. Here's a kick ball violation.
This is like scrimmaging yourself, Jim. Sometimes when you scrimmage your own team in practice, it's hard to run offense because everybody knows what's coming. Very similar here with these two teams who are familiar with each other.
And in addition to that, so many of the Argentinian players either are currently playing professionally in Spain or have done so recently.
And are teammates with a number of these Spanish players.
Off the lean-in 3 attempt by Manu, not there, but Oberto takes down the rebound. Now Pau Gasol with the rebound, and he's fouled.
Well, we haven't mentioned Gasol's name very much yet. Spain has not yet been able to get it into a half-court flow so that Gasol can touch the basketball.
And you see Manu Ginobili, Argentina, connecting from long range here in the early going to open up this 9-point lead. A return feed on that post play, and now it's Pau Gasol against Fabricio Oberto. And a foul on Oberto. Gasol to the free throw line.
Oberto, a member of the San Antonio Spurs, was signed last year, the oldest rookie in the NBA at 31, and signed primarily because he did such a good job on Tim Duncan in the '04 Olympics.
And Coach Pop, of course, was sitting on that U.S. bench as an assistant coach, and
that's right.
He got a front row seat and a good look at it.
Well, and partly because they signed Oberto, they didn't have the financial wherewithal cap-wise to bring Scola over yet, who they own the draft rights to.
So Gasol misses both, but a lane violation, and Pau Gasol will get another attempt. Still no field goals for Spain. Pau Gasol having a great tournament, 21.6 and over 9 rebounds a game.
And doing it at about 26 minutes a game. Because both teams have been so dominant, very few players have played more than 26 minutes a game among the 10 starters.
And it's an offensive foul called on Argentina, trying to open up a shooter on a screen.
everything with these two teams is done with intensity, including, watch the screen here by Alberto as he levels Calderon and Navarro.
That's 2 fouls on Alberto.
Well, Argentina can go 8 or 9 deep.
And Spain has gone almost halfway through the first quarter without a field goal, and they get turned away here, and Argentina off to the races. Nocioni offers the shot to get to the line on the bump by Calderon.
One of these things the international players do so well is initiate contact with the defense. It's something, Jim, you learn when you get to the NBA, but very few college players in America understand that. Of course, we'll see Ginobili, who does that as well as anybody.
Absolutely. Wolkowski coming in for Argentina, number 15.
He looks like a prison guard.
He played with Seattle in the NBA.
Talking to the Bulls coaching staff, they love this guy. Remember, Nocioni averaged 22 points a game in that 6-game series versus the Heat.
Of which the Bulls were right there after 4 games in a 2-2 tie with the eventual NBA champions, and in fact had the Heat talking to themselves. I mean, literally, they were chipping away at one another.
Good defense. Argentina has taken Spain out of its rhythm early.
And still no field goals for Spain with 4:38 left in the quarter.
Don't want to drive a point home, but for those of you who have just tuned in, you could knock that ball off the rim in international play.
And it's not goaltending. Manu tried to serve it up, and the loose ball is saved by Argentina against the shot clock. Wolkowski. Spain to the loose ball this time. There's Gasol, and it counts, and a foul on Nocioni.
Navarro was able to get to the rim. Navarro Calderon early in this game have been out of control, and even here, Navarro just attacking. Fortunately, the great catch by Gasol in the finish.
They call that foul on Wolkowski, and that's his first, and Pau Gasol, who missed a couple of free throws a moment ago, on the line for Spain.
I think along with Nowitzki, Jim, the dominant big men in the tournament.
1 for 6 for Spain to start out, and Argentina already with 12 shots up. And they've connected on 5. Less than 4 minutes for the quarter.
Oh, that's where Nos is so good. The ability to put that ball on a dribble once or twice, create some space, knocks it down the jumper.
6 points for Nocioni of the 16 scored by Argentina.
And Navarro and Calderon much too out of control early.
Sanchez, he's open. Sanchez has 4.
You know, he didn't have a good NBA career, Jim, but he's the ideal point guard for this team because he can play the game at different paces and control the game with his basketball IQ.
Spain running out of time. 4 on the shot clock, and they turn it over on the drive by Gasol.
Well, credit Argentina's intensity in the half court because they have taken Spain out of any kind of offensive rhythm. You see Gasol on the drive out of control and another turnover.
Gasol felt he was fouled. We've got 2:45 roughly for the first quarter, and there's a reach-in foul. Reach-in foul on Calderon. That's his second. If you're joining us late, the United States was upset in the first game by Greece, 101-95. Greece led by as many as 14 points in the second half. And in the third quarter, Greece hit 14 of 18 shots. When the U.S. trying to defend screen and roll, well, it was also Greek to them. Manu Ginobili with a kick out.
You see good trap there, the pick and roll. Back door and a good handle.
Nice play by Spain defensively with Navarro coming up with a steal. And
it's really hard to run your stuff when the other team knows what's coming.
Pau Gasol sends it back out. Garbajosa nails the three.
Well, he's going to join the Toronto Raptors and take some heat off of Chris Bosh and the #1 pick, Andrea Bargnani.
Just the second field goal made by Spain, but on the run out, a foul called on Wolkowski. Garbajosa will be on the line shooting 2.
He played in Malaga this year down on the Spanish coast. He'll be joining the Raptors as a free agent. The Raptors, Brian Colangelo, you see the foul, has hired Maurizio Gherardini from Benetton Treviso, who knows European basketball as well as anybody. And thus Garbajosa will join Toronto.
A timeout taken. You know, Fran, I'm thinking, looking ahead to tomorrow's bronze medal game, in which the United States will be playing the loser of this game at 6:30 Eastern here on ESPN2. I'm thinking the U.S. going to run up against a better team in the bronze medal game, maybe, than Greece.
Jim, what we talked about in the preliminary round were some of the mistakes defensively that Team USA got away with. They were not going to be able to do that against these 3 teams, and that bore itself out in the first semifinal game. You see Ginobili at the rim. Ginobili trying to become the only player to ever win a world championship, an NBA title, an Olympic gold, and a Euro League title.
And in fact, Argentina's battle cry, if you will, is let's get this one too, and then we'll have all of those. And there's a look at the NBA teams represented by Argentina. Carlos Delfino from the Pistons, Manu Ginobili and Fabricio Oberto from the Spurs, and Andres Nocioni from the Bulls.
And don't forget Walter Hermann, who will be with the Bobcats this year. Delfino and Hermann come off the bench for Argentina. 2 NBA players. It speaks to their depth.
And a good start by Argentina here in this first quarter with 1:56 left. They're up by 8. They've led by as many as 11. And Garbajosa on the line, a 68% free throw shooter in the tournament, but he's 3 for 3 already in this game and has scored 5 points.
Interestingly for Spain, while you know about Gasol and Calderon, most of this Spanish team is under 26 years of age. The key players will be together for at least another 3 or 4 years.
And free throwing keeping Spain close in this first quarter.
You see how important pick and roll basketball is.
Manu stays with it, sends it back outside. About a minute and a half for the opening quarter. Ginobili, with plenty of time, takes the shot, hoping to draw a foul.
Thought he was playing for the Spurs.
He'd find himself sitting right next to Pop on that one. A 3-point hit by Rodriguez. Sergio Rodriguez connecting for Spain.
Well, if you've heard that name before, he was the #1 draft pick of the Suns. Traded to the Blazers on draft night, only 20 years old.
And now Spain with a chance to cut it to 1 with less than a minute remaining. Oh, nice play, but the shot wouldn't go, and the ball is out of bounds.
Rodriguez and Fernandez, who's only 21 years and will be in next year's draft, have hooked up on this play 3 times during the tournament. Sergio Rodriguez goes by the nickname Spanish Chocolate. Models his game after Steve Nash and Jason Williams.
Just had a look at Rudy Fernandez, number 5. He's in the lineup for Spain. Nocioni nails another 3.
Well, when he came to the Bulls, his problem was he was too intense offensively. He's really worked on his long-range shooting.
He's got 2 3-pointers and 9 total, and a walk turns the ball over. Scola called for the walk.
Jim, if you haven't noticed already, every possession of this game is played with great intensity.
Manu Ginobili taking a break. Took a while for Spain to get it going offensively, but they had that 11-point deficit down to 3. And Garbajosa on the long 3.
One shot now. Prigioni will hold on to it.
This was something that plagued the U.S. in the first game. They took an early shot just before halftime, and Greece came back and had the final say. And now a whistle, a foul against Spain. Foul on Rodriguez.
See, great smart play. Rodriguez doesn't have to worry about fouling out. He doesn't play that much. He basically broke the play up.
And they could take a foul there. They weren't in the penalty. And the first quarter has come to an end. It's Argentina trying to stop a 9-game losing streak against Spain, up by 6. As we move into the second quarter, a 6-point lead for Argentina. The United States upset in the first game by 6 against Greece.
Remember, both teams dominated group play, scoring margins of about 25 a game each.
And a foul called on Argentina. It was a tough one there.
Told you, every play is going to be an intense play. Felipe Reyes that time took the brunt of the contact. Delfino got his money's worth.
Oh my. First foul on Delfino. And Reyes 5 of 6 from the line in the tournament.
Well, Carlos Delfino has only averaged about 3.5 points a game for the Pistons in 2 years, but he has played very well in this tournament off the bench for Argentina.
Spain is 9 of 11 from the free throw line as they stay within 4. Argentina has only attempted 2 free throws, and Nocioni split them. Scola sends it back out. Wolkowski.
Scola, one of the best low post players in Europe. Wolkowski spots up off the kick out.
And a reach-in foul called on Argentina.
Because Scola is so dangerous down low, watch how he draws the defense, and the closeout by Reyes is too late.
7-point lead for Argentina. We're early in the second quarter.
Wolkowski reminds me of the guy on night court.
It's a good one. A bit different hairdo, I believe, than I remember him with the Sonics, for example. The ball knocked out of bounds, and Spain retains possession.
This is so much fun to watch two teams that on every play just get after it. They're so similar, and there's such familiarity. It's amazing, Jim. Pepe Sanchez and Walter Herman play with Benji Rodriguez and Jorge Garbajosa in Malaga.
Pau Gasol returning for Spain.
Garbajosa, as I mentioned, will be leaving for the Raptors.
With 12 to shoot, Spain has it in play. And the rebound knocked loose, controlled by Argentina. Prigioni, number 11, out there for Argentina. Nocioni doubled up. Nocioni leading Argentina in scoring with 9 in this first half. 4 on the shot clock.
Excellent ball movement, but even better defense by Spain.
Argentina called for the foul.
Jim, when I mentioned teams like Malaga and Tau Ceramica, that's the Spanish ACB league, which in my mind is one of the 2 or 3 best leagues in the world. It's far above college competition. To give you an idea, not quite the NBA.
Spain trying to cut it to 5 or 4 with the long one, and Garbajosa.
He will take the heat off with his perimeter shooting of Bargnani and Bosch inside for the Raptors.
He's got 10 points already as Spain cuts it to 4. Scola kicks it out. No, Sione. A rare miss for him in this first half. Oh, man.
What a shot.
Garbajosa just drilled somebody. Pau Gasol collects,
look at this inside.
Scores, and draws the foul.
If you're refereeing this game, the rule is no autopsy, no foul. Everything is contested inside.
Scola called for the foul for Argentina. The first on Scola.
You have to remember that if you're looking for pretty basketball today from two teams that move the ball well, it's hard to do because they know each other so well. Walter Hermann checking in, Jim.
For Argentina, Pau Gasol shooting for his second three-point play. And Spain, at one time down 11, is back to within 1. And if you're Argentina about now, you got to be saying, where have we seen this before?
Absolutely. These two teams are so similar.
Mumbrou, number 14, is on for Spain.
He can shoot it.
Didn't take him long to get one up there, did it?
Walter Hermann, he's going to be with the Bobcats.
First touch, first three.
He's had a couple big games in this tournament.
Gasol in the mid-post. Around the horn they work it.
You saw right there what we didn't see in game one from Team USA. Excellent trap in the post and quick rotations out.
6:55 for the half, and Hermann is fouled on that pass into the post. Mumbrou picking up the foul.
Interesting story and a tragic one, Jim. In 2003, Walter Hermann lost his mother, his sister, and his fiance in a car accident in Argentina. A year later, he lost his dad on exactly the same day. And his motto now is never look back, only look forward.
And right down the pipe on that three-point attempt for Delfino. Carlos Delfino with his first points of the game.
Well, he's come in shooting 44% from behind the arc.
That's 6 in a row, halted there on the drive to the rim. Argentina had scored 6 straight before Rodriguez scored for Spain.
Remember, Rodriguez is only 20 years old and playing in one of the biggest games of his career.
Hermann on the miss. Long rebound to Spain.
Wow.
Nice.
Rudy Fernandez. He has had a monster tournament and has raised his NBA stock value. And these two young guards have to wait their turn behind Navarro and Calderon.
You're right. Fernandez averaging better than 11 points a game in the tournament.
Oh, we've seen some good young players that'll be in next year's draft.
4 on the shot clock for Argentina, and the ball knocked out of bounds with 3 to shoot. And that was Fernandez again.
Rudy Fernandez, 13 points a game in the EuroLeague. That's like averaging about 25 in the ACC.
Remember, 3 to shoot. Stolen.
Watch this.
It's Rudy again. Rudy Fernandez with the last 4, and again, Spain within 1.
Well, he's got the first name on the back of his jersey. So what does that tell you about his confidence level?
Open look. Scola off the back rim.
Another
Spain
run out.
with a chance at the lead, and they've got it, and a foul sends Gasol to the line.
This is like a heavyweight championship fight. Argentina got some blows in early, but Spain has come back. And 3 straight transition baskets.
And for Pau Gasol, this will be a chance at his 3rd three-point play. Pau Gasol with 9 points and Spain with a 2-point lead. They were down 11 early. They were down 6 at the quarter. The Super Arena in Saitama City, Japan has seen a super semifinal. With Fran Fraschilla, I'm Jim Durham. We're glad to have you with us for the second game of our doubleheader today, following the big upset in the first game, Greece defeating the United States 101-95.
And shooting 63% for the game.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
And the winner of this game gets Greece in the gold medal game on Sunday morning at 6:30. Scola sends a pass out, deflected, but Herman has it. Didn't get that reverse to go. Thought he got fouled in the process.
Because of the familiarity, Spain's defenders are running to where Argentina usually passes the ball.
And a foul on Argentina on the drive by Sergio Rodriguez. Well, you talked about the fact he's only 20.
Yep.
He doesn't, well, he does have a little beard going there, so I was going to say he doesn't quite look 20. A timeout taken. It's Spain on top. Went over 6 minutes without a field goal to start out. Spain is doing quite nicely, thank you. And those free throws is what has enabled them to stay in the lead initially and now to get the lead.
Well, we thought early in the game Calderon, Navarro were out of control, but what they have done is they have attacked the paint for themselves and also the dump downs to Gasol.
That miss by Rodriguez, his first in the tournament. He had made his first 4 free throws.
Rodriguez is a magical ball handler for someone his age.
And he has 6 points in the first half. He has already tied his tournament high in that regard. Manu Ginobili picks it up.
Wow.
On the fade, Alberto had it blocked by Gasol.
Argentina has been able to dominate opponents inside. Gasol presents a major presence defensively for them.
Out of bounds to Spain. This guy's been a big difference for him. Rodriguez, Sergio Rodriguez. Gabrielsa returns. About 4 minutes for the half. And Manu.
And that's what he does best.
Yep.
What you do, Jim, in order to neutralize a shot blocker, you must take it at his body, and that eliminates his length. And there's no one better, really, at getting on the body of the defender than this guy.
Manu Ginobili, 90% from the line in the tournament.
Well, the amazing thing about Manu, he's only playing 22 minutes a game. Argentina basically ran roughshod through their group. So Coach Hernandez made sure he had plenty of rest for the elimination round.
Well, the same thing happened with the United States.
Yes.
And, you know, they got plenty of rest in the preliminary round and in the first 2 rounds of elimination, but they were upset today. And now Spain goes up by 5.
Sergio.
Wow.
Only comes in playing 9 points a game, but good enough to be drafted in the first round last June.
2 threes so far in the first half. That looked familiar. Manu Ginobili.
And that time he neutralized the shot blocker by going by the rim and using the rim to shield off Gasol.
And Ginobili has scored 9. Closing in on the 3-minute mark for the half.
Every possession has been a battle.
2 to shoot. Argentina with the turnover and a foul called. And they foul on Rodriguez, his second.
And a smart foul. Seen that time and time again. There's the drive. Now Manu's got the breakaway, and watch Rodriguez. And again, if it's an intentional foul, he'd be shooting 2 plus the ball.
Argentina down by 3 after leading by 11. Manu Ginobili. And out of bounds to Argentina.
Well, you see this a number of times during the season, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
And you notice that right arm to ward off. He's found 3 ways to keep Gasol from getting at his shot.
Herman. Ginobili around the pick by Roberto. And Spain has a chance to extend on the lead.
Good time again to go inside. Gasol has an advantage.
And a 3-ball rebounds long to Sanchez.
As good as those Spanish guards are, you want to know why Gasol doesn't touch it almost every time down.
Navarro and Calderon have not scored from the field yet. 8 on the shot clock. And it's a tie ball game.
Walter Herman. The interesting thing about Herman as he adjusts to the NBA is he a 3 or a 4? That's going to be the question, but certainly he's got that ability to knock down the shot.
He's hit 2 threes so far, and on a pass inside, tipped away off the hands of Gasol. And a timeout taken. A good ball game working in game 2. Half. Taking a look at recent FIBA World Championship winners. Yugoslavia and Indianapolis in 2002. In Greece, Yugoslavia again. That was the year that the Americans sent a team of amateurs and minor league professionals for the most part because the NBA was in lockout.
And interestingly, the former Yugoslavia has really been in a slump. Serbia, Croatia, not where they've been in the past.
Shot clock at 4. And a foul is going to bail him out. Ginobili along the baseline got bumped. They were running out of time on the shot clock.
This is where the chess match comes in. You see the backdoor cut, but also the help in perfect position. And Navarro looking around and saying,
me?
After everything that's gone on, hand-to-hand combat, that's a foul?
It is. It's your first. Ginobili to the line, trying to put Argentina back on top.
And that's why I say these teams know each other so well. Argentina has gotten away with backdoor cuts throughout this tournament, but Spain has seen it before.
Manu Ginobili with 11 and a 2-point lead for Argentina. In the first game upset by Greece defeating the United States, the U.S. gave up 101 points, the most points they've allowed in the tournament, and the most Greece has scored in the tournament, and this game is tied at 38.
How about that crafty
drive?
Yep. Cabezas not shooting the ball well in this tournament, 0 for 6, but
not seeing much time until just a few moments ago. Here's an offensive foul called. And the ball goes to Spain with a chance at the lead in less than a minute for the first half.
Again, the familiarity brings choppy play. And what it also brings is that neither team really has had the wherewithal to stretch their lead out since Spain caught back up.
That foul on Manu Ginobili, his second. In fact, if Spain uses the clock right, they'll get 2 possessions for 1. Pepe Sanchez against Cabezas. Volkowski missing on the 3 attempt, but Herman saves.
He passed that ball like he was playing water polo.
And it's out of bounds to Spain with 16.6 left in the half.
Well, they will get the last possession now, but that last possession by Argentina was the indication of the way Pepe Sanchez just controls the tempo of the game.
And a timeout taken will keep it here. The second game in the semifinals of the FIBA 2006 World Championship, all tied in the late stages of the first half. We noted a moment ago the Argentinian players who perform in the NBA. Well, Spain, of course, has the Memphis Grizzly all-star Pau Gasol, who leads them in scoring tonight.
Well, there's going to be one guy on that Spain list that I'm sure you'd be scratching your head that he's not there. And his name is Wally Serbiak.
Yep.
Because he was born in Spain. His father, Walt, was a great American who went to Spain and played. But there are the guys that are in the league right now. We will see Rudy Fernandez in the league shortly.
Let's see Calderon with Toronto.
Remember that interesting stat we talked about in preparation for Spain? Calderon, 8th in the NBA in assists per 48 minutes. But those minutes may be decreased this year because of TJ Ford.
By the way, if you were snoozing at 3:30 a.m. and missed it, highlights of the Greece upset over the United States. We'll have that at halftime of this game. There were some stretches in that game in which, you know, I shouldn't say that. The United States, I thought, especially in the first quarter, that may have been their best 12 minutes they played in the tournament.
And you know what, Jim? I would say minor upset in my mind.
Yeah.
Because of people don't really know Greece was a European champions.
Right, but whenever the #1 ranked team, which the United States was, a #1 ranked team in the world, goes down, that means it's big. Personal foul called.
Well, I look at it this way. If we're impressed with Spain and Argentina, and Spain didn't win the European Championship last year, tells you something about how good Greece is.
That's right. And Spain in front by 1 as Navarro has his first point of the game.
Now, we said this in the first game. If you play this right, if you're Argentina, you have at least 5 dribbles to get the ball up the court. So you don't want to shoot it too quick. Let's count them. 3, 4. All right, he lost it.
How about the kick? Is that 1 second on the kick?
They still got a shot off.
Yes, they did, and it was open. And it's halftime in game 2 with Spain nursing a 2-point lead. At the 2000 Summer Games in Australia, Kevin Garnett took time away from the court to visit the Sydney Zoo and the animals of the Southern Hemisphere. Garnett was forced to play defense, though he elected not to engage with the porcupine or the kangaroo. Argentina coming back. They're down by 2 at the half. First half for Argentina. Carlos Jimenez did not score for Spain.
Well, I hate to rub this in, Jim, but I've gotten 2 text messages from friends around the world, and they both said pick and roll defense. What happened?
You know, it's the most simple play, yet seems to be the most difficult to defend.
Well, it creates, as I said earlier, indecision on the part of usually a big guy who's got to figure out whether to switch on to a guard or not.
Here at the Super Arena in Saitama, Argentina taking on Spain. With Fran Fraschilla, I'm Jim Durham. The winner will get Greece in the gold medal game Sunday. The loser will play the U.S. tomorrow morning for the bronze. And it's a tie ball game, 40-40, Scola scoring.
Well, and if you're just joining us, there are 6 NBA players on the court right now between both of these clubs.
Pau Gasol, number 4, one of them. That's a deep 2. Calderon scoring his first field goal.
Calderon of the Toronto Raptors. Hopefully for them a much improved Raptor team this year.
Sione loses his footing but not the ball. And then away from the ball along the baseline there's a foul call.
Jim, if you look at the halftime stats, both teams have more turnovers than you assist, and you say to yourself, well, I thought they were well-coached teams, and really the simple fact is they know each other so well. It's like scrimmaging against yourself.
Ginobili, kind of a delayed play to Oberto.
Another example of what we've seen today in both games, the pick and roll. Scola rolled to the rim and Ginobili found him.
8:25 left. Gasol with 6 to shoot and a foul call.
Spain does a nice job of running their offense, a lot of motion. As the clock gets under 10, they'll feed Gasol. And you know, when you watch him in the NBA, he's really good about 8 feet off the lane where he could use that spin move. That could be important.
I don't think the Spurs like to see that.
Well, don't forget now, they've also lost the services, at least temporarily, of Tony Parker with the broken finger.
Right. So Manu Ginobili going out holding his left arm.
And R.C. Buford and Greg Popovich holding their breath.
Off the ball. Looks like Pau got upended, and Nocioni with his second.
Now, Nocioni figures if he's going to chuck Gasol on the cross screen, he might as well knock him down.
Spain comes in and comes up shooting off the inbounds. Scola the rebound. 2 minutes having been played, third quarter. Argentina turns it over. A 3-on-2 the other way.
That started because Pepe Sanchez got in too deep, and on the penetrating kick, when he kicked it out to a Spanish player. The familiarity.
Jimenez scoring his first field goal. That's his first points of the game.
Jimenez, the team captain, an oldest player.
And now we got some words exchanged. Jimenez and Oberto.
Now remember, they all know each other.
What was that you said about a blood feud
That's
early
it.
in the game?
Backyard brawl, like cousins fighting. About 75% of these guys have played in the Spanish ACB league. They
Either
all
with
know
or against
That's
each other.
right. 4 of these guys played last year. There's the elbow by Jimenez.
He really clipped Oberto.
There's the clear out.
I got to understand why Fabricio would take exception to that.
Well, we told you, hand-to-hand combat.
And the officials are trying to figure it out. What exactly should the call be on this play?
And Pepe Sanchez plays in the ACB league. Scola does. Almost all the Spanish players that are not in the NBA. Herman, who's just leaving Spain to go to the Bobcats. And I really believe this, Jim. There are a couple teams in that league. Tau Ceramica, for one, with Thiago Splitter and Scola. They would not be the worst team in the NBA.
All this happening with 7:39 left in the third, and Spain up by 2, and Spain at the free throw line. Calderon will shoot another.
What we just saw is a couple minutes of posturing. You know, it's just basically posturing with the officials, because game's not going to get any less rough than it already has been because of the intensity of both teams.
I thought, you know, the foul should have been called on Jimenez. He had the elbows up and looked like he hit Oberto in the neck. So a break to Spain.
We told you, every possession of this game has been a battle.
Pau Gasol, and Delfino collects the rebound.
Delfino, who had an outstanding young career in Italy, has not yet hit stride with the Detroit Pistons.
Apparently that call, which was not a foul call, was a technical foul after the play on Sanchez. who was merely trying to point out what had happened.
And remember, in FIBA play, like in college, a technical foul is a personal foul.
Right. Oh, there's some contact there. And the foul is on Nocioni, and he thought he had position.
Hate to belabor the point, but every play, because these two teams go after it so hard, is a battle.
Excuse me, apparently the foul was called on Delfino, and that is his fourth.
Delfino reached in before the contact.
Okay.
With Nocioni.
Good to see Ginobili back on. The last time we saw him, he was holding his left arm or wrist going to the bench. Jimenez on the miss. And Scola collects the rebound. And Oberto holding his left knee.
On that rebound, he fell down as play went to the other end. And because they had possession of the basketball, you'll see right there the knees get banged up. Because they had possession of the ball, the official stops the play.
You suppose there have been a few television sets get turned off in the Spurs offices in the last few minutes?
Exactly. I'll tell you what these teams are going to need after this game is a good whirlpool. Coach Hernandez has done a great job in taking over for the legendary Ruben Magnano.
They're going to count that basket?
Oh, they waved that one off.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, we've seen that called all kinds of different ways throughout this tournament.
Arbiosa called for the foul.
I thought it wasn't continuation if he didn't shoot it before Thursday morning.
Well, he didn't put it down. You know, the contact was made and he offered the shot.
Now, when you play in a physical game where the referees understand that, go inside and put the onus on them by attacking the basket.
Play. The shot wouldn't go for Jimenez, but a good play by Spain.
Even Argentina, Jim, I would go inside and make the officials call a foul. Don't bail them out by shooting a jumper here.
Sanchez holding as the clock hits 6. Pau Gasol claims the rebound.
I would do the same thing at this end. Go inside to Gasol. With the game being physical, they'll call it close.
They must be listening to you. Pau Gasol has his 4th field goal.
It's referee psychology 101. When the referees feel the game is getting out of the control, they're going to blow the whistle quicker. And so when you're the team with the ball, you want to go inside and make them blow the whistle.
Pau Gasol has scored 11. That's a tough shot. Scola on the follow. Yep, and a foul.
Well, Scola is one of the best low post scorers in Europe. He's had trouble today because of the presence of Gasol, but that time he got inside off the Ginobili miss and was able to get the ball up and in.
Scola drew the foul on Gasol. 2 fouls on Pau Gasol. And Scola was looking for his 7th point there. The ball knocked around, finally claimed by Spain. The game opened with Argentina hot from everywhere as they jumped out to a double-digit lead in the first quarter.
How about that? They ran the high curl, and on the catch, 2 defenders ran at the ball. Garbajosa spotted up in that deep corner.
And it's the biggest lead of the game for Spain at 6 with 4.5 left in the third. Sanchez. And the foul called on Pau Gasol, his 3rd. And a timeout taken. 4:29 for the 3rd. Spain trying to get to the gold medal game, leading by 6. Point, but Spain has the 6-point edge. There you see the foul trouble. Delfino, the only player with 4.
Well, both teams can absorb foul trouble because of the depth of their teams, but of course you don't want to lose Gasol and Ginobili. Either Coach Hernandez feels that way.
Right.
Argentina coached by the longtime legend Ruben Magnano. Sergio Hernandez has done a great job of coaching a veteran team that has been together for a while in only his second year.
13 points for Manu Ginobili.
Jim, I think one of the reasons we talk about uneven officiating in FIBA is, remember, these guys come from all over the world. Well, the game is called differently in Lithuania than it may be in the Philippines.
Garbajosa, and it's followed in by Gasol.
Gasol has been the dominant low post presence in this tournament. And that's their bread and butter, Spain. I would continue to go inside.
Nocioni hasn't been heard from in a while, and he's fouled on the 3.
That might have been Gasol, and that's 4, Jim. That's big. That's critical. It was a breakdown off a screen-to-screener play. Gasol had to cover for his man. Watch Nocioni gets open. You see Jimenez tries to get through the illegal screen, by the way, of Scola. And once again, Gasol, we saw this in the first game, fouling a three-point shooter, a no-no.
But we understand, as the FIBA scorers so often do, that's just the 3rd foul on Pau Gasol.
I told you I would.
I already had him marked for 3. I don't know where or when they changed that one.
Told you. I wouldn't want those guys at FIBA at the scorers table, as I said earlier in the tournament, doing my taxes.
So Nocioni with 3 free throws coming. He can bring Argentina to within 3.
And the way they play with numbers, maybe I would want them. Boy, you think of those Chicago Bulls with Ben Wallace and those young players, Heinrich, Nocioni.
And the Bulls, they've been an overachieving team the last couple of years, getting to the playoffs. Now they'll have expectations.
Yep. But if you were
called for his 3rd.
If you were to draw up the perfect Scott Skiles player, you would draw up Andres Nocioni.
Oh, absolutely.
The toughness, improving offensively, working very hard on his perimeter game. We've talked about it earlier in the tournament too. 2 very good young draft picks in Tyrus Thomas and the youngster from Switzerland, Thabo Sefolosha, who I think will be a surprise.
Carlos Jimenez on the line for Spain. 3 points to his credit, and he is 2 for 2 from the line. Earlier, Greece upset the United States 101-95. The U.S. had a 12-point lead in the second quarter of that game. Appeared to have things well in hand. They had been rock solid defensively in the first quarter, and then it all came apart. Their inability to defend a high screen and roll. It fueled a 14 for 18 shooting performance by Greece in the 3rd.
Well, we talked about the standing around on offense.
Foul called there on that pass to the outside. Scola picking up the personal foul. 2 on him.
Well, we talked about the depth of these teams, but it is becoming a war of attrition in terms of foul trouble. Because in the 4th quarter, guys like Ginobili, Gasol, Scola, Calderon need to be on the floor.
Garbajosa missing for the first time after making his first 4.
He will be a 29-year-old rookie with the Raptors. Raptors have added Anthony Parker, who played at Maccabi Tel Aviv. Garbajosa, Bargnani, real international flavor in Toronto.
14 points for him.
Little 3-quarter court pressure now. And back to the zone, just designed to take Argentina out of their rhythm. Back man-to-man.
It's Ginobili. And Oberto kicks it out. Did they get the shot away in time? Doesn't matter as Spain comes away with a rebound.
Well, they got it off, but because Sanchez recognized the clock running down, he got no legs into that shot.
He had to literally catch and shoot.
You see the aggressiveness of pick and roll defense.
Now Spain with 6 on the clock.
See, that's just good defense, possession by possession.
Argentina trying to find something offensively, and that's not a bad idea right there. A 3 for Ginobili, his 3rd.
Ginobili's man got caught under the screen. You see Calderon trying to fight Scola, and Ginobili had space.
So a 3-point ball game. A little over 2 minutes for the 3rd. That's a set shot 3. Spain with another opportunity. Calderon comes back. Garbajosa backs it out.
Oh,
contact on the 3. Scola called for the foul.
Picks up another one and another low IQ play. Garbajosa, he just lifted his eyebrows and got Scola in the air. That's good, smart basketball on Garbajosa's part. But Scola, he used Scola's aggressiveness against him.
Rudy Fernandez back in, Sergio Rodriguez back in. Those two guys gave this team a lot of energy in the first half when they came in.
Yes, they did. This is the baby backcourt, 21 and 20 years old. The future of Spanish basketball. Which reminds me, Jim, Spain has some very, very good young players coming up the pipeline. Remember the name Ricky Rubio. Just turned 16, the youngest player to ever play in the EuroLeague this year at 15.
Garbajosa has 16, and that equals his tournament high. So in their biggest game so far, he has been at his best. 17 points for him.
There's that pressure now, just token pressure.
But Argentina had good recognition, handled it well. Sanchez.
Pepe not really known as a deep shooter, but he has made 62% of his threes in this tournament.
Oh, man. And a loose ball foul underneath against Spain.
It's like every possession, bodies are flying.
Oh, yeah. Reyes picking up the foul.
Where is Vince McMahon when you need him? And I'll tell you, there's some good acting jobs going on out there also.
I'm not so sure about that one, though. I think that was a good foul.
Well, you know what? They know how to play the game. You know, I mean, there's a little bit of acting going on, but there's a whole lot of contact as well.
Wolkowski on the miss. He has scored 3 points in this game and came in from the line 12 of 15.
What's that guy from Night Court? That's him. There he is. Bull.
4 points for Wolkowski.
You can go into any bad neighborhood in the world, take the Argentine team with you, and you're going to be okay.
4 straight points for Argentina. They're back to within 2. A minute for the 3rd.
You see how aggressive the pick and roll defense is.
Oh, nice. Garbajosa floats it home.
This guy was not drafted, has played in Europe. He played at Benetton Treviso.
And he has a 19-point game working in the semifinals of the FIBA World Championship. Ginobili. And Spain with a chance to extend on the 4-point lead.
And they've rested Pau Gasol at the end of this 3rd quarter.
Yes, he still has 3 fouls. They haven't taken another one away from him yet. Shot clock at 6.
Look at the hustle. Garbajosa kept that ball alive.
Now Ginobili with a steal.
Oh, man, another shot.
Here's Ginobili against the clock, and it's Wolkowski with the final attempt of the quarter for Argentina. And the third quarter comes to an end, and it's still Spain on top. 56. Now you see the numbers on Manu Ginobili during this past NBA season with the Spurs.
And on a team with 5 double-figure scorers, Argentina, Ginobili, when needed in this tournament, has been their go-to guy.
Spain opening in possession in the fourth. And the ball knocked out of bounds.
It's always a catch-22 for a team with a lot of depth and balance, is who is your go-to guy, but it has been Ginobili in key spots in the past.
Yes, it should be. A 3-point field goal giving Spain the 7-point lead.
Sergio Rodriguez has been outstanding today, seeing spot duty throughout this tournament, but the 20-year-old has responded in a crucial spot.
You're right. He's got 12 points, a tournament high. He's hit a number of 3-point field goals. Ginobili a kick out and a 3-second violation against Argentina.
And the reason that was called was because the defense did a great job of keeping Ginobili from the rim. Argentina's big man thought that Ginobili was going to shoot it on a kick out. Too much time in the lane.
And now Spain with a chance to really open it up here. And you know, it's been a defensive struggle.
Yes, it
has.
I mean,
you get a 9-point lead in this kind of game. That's huge.
You're right.
Pau Gasol back in. Gasol thought he was fouled. Oberto to the rebound.
Well, Sergio Hernandez did not make a big deal out of this, but I think it's important to note that Spain has won 9 straight versus Argentina.
You can almost see the confidence they have,
yep,
even early when they were down right off the start.
Well, you can see Manu trying to now be the guy that takes over. Uh-oh.
Wow. Nocioni. He has 11, but he had 9 early tonight. Travel violation against Spain.
Well, and I thought Rodriguez walked. They didn't call it, so they got Gasol. It's interesting, Jim. Remember, Argentina has a 25-point scoring margin. You see, looked like Sergio got away with 3 steps.
And Argentina, statistically, the better defensive team.
But now they're in uncharted territory in this tournament. They did have a close game with Serbia, but that was at the end of the preliminary round.
Ginobili sends it back out. Manu Ginobili feeding it inside to Wolkowski, and a foul on Spain. It's on Bernie Rodriguez.
Well, I mentioned earlier, Bernie Rodriguez and Garbajosa, Pepe Sanchez, and Walter Herman, all teammates at Unicaja Malaga in the Spanish league. So you can tell, Jim, even the physical play, there's a healthy respect. I mentioned it before. This is like brothers playing in the backyard. It's nothing comes easy.
Now Wolkowski will be hearing it from the crowd after airballing that first one. Actually, it was nothing but net, but unfortunately it was the outside portion of the net.
I thought you had a new FIBA rule for me. Get 1 point for hitting the net.
He did hit the floor, though.
Nice.
And now Spain with its biggest lead.
Well, that's a great curl cut by Rodriguez. That drew Oberto and freed up Gasol. Because Rodriguez made a hard cut, it really put pressure on the defense.
That was much needed, that 3-point field goal. Pepe Sanchez.
Mentioned one of his Achilles heels at college at Temple was he didn't shoot the 3 well, but in this tournament he's been outstanding. And
away from the ball, we have an infraction A foul on Fabricio Oberto. 3 fouls on Fabricio.
What makes Gasol so tough to guard, aside from the obvious being 7'1", is he's very quick off that trapezoid lane and agile in the paint.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. They still have 10, but they're shooting it anyway. Wolkowski the rebound. Nocioni through a crowd. Score the basket and a foul.
When Nocioni caught the ball at half court, you could look in his eyes and know that he was going to the rim. He was able to slice through 2 Spanish defenders.
So Nocioni will be on the line when we come back. The free throw line, where he is 4 of 5.
Coming off a season where he averaged 13 points a game for the Bulls, and during his 3rd year with Chicago. You look in the dictionary under the word intense, and you see his picture.
There you do. That you do.
Now, if you're Argentina, you must keep the ball out of Gasol's hands. Jim, they give up only 25% from the 3, so if I were them, I would double Gasol and close out quickly to the shooters.
You're right. That defensive field goal percentage would indicate that they do that well. They stay at home on the long-range shooters.
But you can't let him operate in space one-on-one. See the good closeout.
4 to shoot. And it's back to a 5-point lead.
Boy, if you're the Portland Trailblazers, you got to be excited. A lot of people didn't think Sergio would help Portland for another couple years. He's only 20 years old, but great poise today.
Yeah, he's been terrific in this game. 14 points. Delfino gets into a 3. Wolkowski.
Good job. Spain thought they had Wolkowski boxed out, but he muscled through. Watch the shot go off. He knew where the ball was coming off. When a shot's taken from the right side of the floor, 70% of the time it'll bounce out to the left, and Wolkowski, perfect angle.
Argentina hanging in with that gritty play, and Wolkowski gives them the rebound and another opportunity. They can tie with a long one. And Nocioni trying to get that scoop down, contact, but before the shot.
No, that, you know, in talking to the Bulls staff, one of the things they love about Nocioni, not only has he improved his outside shooting, but it makes his driving ability that much better, because you got to close on him quickly.
You see Navarro checking back in, so the foul coming before the shot.
You know, Jim, I've hardly looked at the scoreboard tonight because I just assumed the game is going to go down to the wire anyway.
Yeah, you're right. 9 has been the biggest lead for Spain, 11 for Argentina, but that was very early.
You know, Gasol, I think, takes a bad rap from NBA people. He hadn't had that much around him in Memphis.
And it's out of bounds to Argentina.
Look at Nocioni. Look at that face. A face only a mother and a coach could love. You'd love to coach a guy like this. Every possession is a personal battle for Nocioni.
That time getting tied up with Calderon. And the ball goes to Argentina. 5 minutes left.
Think he's very safe on the streets of Chicago? And very popular, too.
It's a big trip for Argentina.
See how they just play with that screen up high.
Pepe Sanchez.
It's an art form.
7 on the shot clock. Delfino. Pau Gasol clears for Spain.
People forget Gasol is about 7'1". Made his presence known on the defensive end today.
Let's see. How many is that in meters?
It's about 2:15, I would say. I'm guessing, but I'd say it's about 2:15, 2:20.
Nike storyline, 15 points, 9 rebounds for Pau. Manu Ginobili with 16. Argentina, 11 for 17 from the line, but Spain, I mean, they've shot it well from start to finish and a lot of free throws, 21 out of 26. They went more than half the first quarter without a field goal.
Oh, they got him.
Found Pau.
Got him.
Score the goal and a foul.
Well, we've seen pick and roll basketball today, executed at its best. Said throughout both games that you have to have a high IQ if you're a point guard in pick and roll play. And that time Navarro with a great feed, he held on to his dribble until he saw Gasol get the angle on his defender. You see Gasol with Delfino on his back, and that is over.
That's 5 fouls on Delfino, so he's gone out. It's Nocioni complaining on the play, but the foul went against Carlos Delfino. And apparently Spain violated, and so the ball goes to Argentina.
You know, I think of what we've seen today, Jim, and I think of being overseas at clinics with guys like Hubie Brown. I can hear Hubie talking about pick and roll play. And a lot of these teams have taken what they learned from American coaches, these great European coaches, and turned it into quality basketball.
6 of the shot clock. Ginobili ran into a dead end.
Nope.
It's a shot clock violation.
Best feeling in the world if you're a coach that loves defense. A 24-second horn.
And that was what the U.S. did twice in the first quarter to Greece.
Yep. Just weren't able to sustain that intensity.
As the United States went down 101-95. And here, Spain.
Oh, another hard screen.
To join Greece in the gold medal game on Sunday. Argentina trying to battle back. Look at the scrap underneath.
Wow.
Pau Gasol fouled by Nocioni.
I think that was a good call, even though Gasol got the more what looked to be physical blow, because Nocioni came right up on him on the rebound.
That's 4 fouls on Nocioni.
There could have been 18 fouls called on this one play. As Gasol gets the ball, Nocioni comes right up on him. There's the foul. And then Gasol with the little shoulder shrug to push him off.
But 4 fouls on Nocioni as Spain looks to extend on a 5-point lead.
A little bit of a trap. No problem for these experienced Spanish guards.
And now a foul on Gasol. You know, if they hadn't taken that one away from him earlier, he'd be gone now.
Yep.
4 fouls on Gasol.
See if Coach Pepe Hernandez gets him out, or at this stage of the game rides his big horse.
Well, he's got Rudy Fernandez coming in.
We know he's not playing center,
No.
but Gasol is going to come out, so they're going to go small. This might be very quick.
Scola.
Good defense.
They're running out of time. 6 on the shot clock. And Ginobili with a big 3.
He's done that in every venue. Europe, the NBA, the Olympics.
Manu Ginobili has 19. Argentina within 2.
Charge.
That's the call. Carlos Jimenez.
Look at the passion, Jim. Both teams. Scola takes the charge and he gets a kiss from his teammate. Good position. Jimenez runs him over. I think you're at that stage of the game. If you're Pepe Hernandez, you've got to come back with Gasol, and they do. I'm even surprised they got him out unless he needed a blow physically. Can't waste possessions in the final 4 minutes of a game.
Argentina with a chance to tie or get the lead with a three-pointer. Here's Ginobili. And it's Jimenez claiming the loose ball and a foul on Argentina. Manu Ginobili called for the foul.
Well, we told you Ginobili would be the go-to guy, but this time he comes up short.
And Manu Ginobili has his fourth. Delfino has already fouled out for Argentina.
Jimenez a 70% foul shooter, but he won't be shooting yet.
That's a big basket for Spain as they go back up by 4, and a timeout taken. Navarro picked a good time to get his first field goal.
Spain has gone to a zone. It looks like they showed zone. Out of the timeout went man.
An air ball on that shot by Ginobili.
Now, if you can, as you run half court, you want to go inside to Gasol if you can. Look at the pushing and shoving.
You know what? These two teams are going to be so glad to see somebody else in the next game. Along the baseline, Gasol gets spilled and a foul against Argentina.
Good half-court offense. They used about 20 seconds. Still got it to their stud. Gasol is very good at spinning off a post bar arm.
A foul on Fabricio Oberto, and that is his fourth. Pau Gasol, a 17-point game working.
Goes about 67% from the line in this tournament. I think Gasol, Jim, suffers from that Garnett syndrome a little bit. Comes into the league as the Rookie of the Year, averaging 18 points, 8 rebounds, and yet I'm not sure if he's won a playoff game. But he hadn't had a lot around him for the most part.
Back to a 6-point lead for Spain.
Gasol is limping, and they're going to sub for him.
Pau with 19 points. Carlos Jimenez 6'8" in the game for Gasol. That's a 3, and it's a 3-point game. Pepe Sanchez.
And almost a 4-point play there. Now you've got Gasol out of the game.
Sanchez picks up the foul out on the perimeter.
Now, the reason that's not a smart play is because you have the best scorer out of the game. You don't want to foul 40 feet from the basket.
It was Calderon fouled on the play. And a timeout comes with 1:17 left and a 3-point lead for Spain. On Sunday morning at 6:30, the gold medal game.
Well, regardless of who loses this game, we will have a battle tomorrow. I don't know about you, but I feel like I've been on a red eye all night.
That's about right.
But it has been fun to see great basketball.
Calderon getting the second free throw down. Spain with a 4-point lead. Every trip crucial for Argentina, and they're going to their man.
You know it's Manu time.
Yep. Manu brings them to within 2. Spain was up by 9 at one time in this fourth quarter.
Interesting, Jim. No Gasol right now. He hurt the ankle.
6 seconds to shoot.
Fernandez.
And Argentina has it with a chance to tie. 40 seconds left.
You've got a lot of ways to go, but you know Manu's getting into the lane.
Instead, he sends it on to Sanchez. And it's still in possession of Argentina.
Well, if you're Pepu Hernandez, do you come back with a gimpy Gasol?
A timeout taken, 26.9 to shoot for Argentina. And it's Ginobili bringing it in play.
There it is.
Manu from the corner.
Oh, poked away.
But a foul. The personal foul against Rudy Fernandez.
Now, Rudy thought he got it cleanly. The referee was right there. Scola's going to shoot him, Jim, and again, no Gasol.
Scola, 71% in the tournament, 0 for 1 today. Now he's got a chance to tie.
And a turning point in this game could be Gasol rolling the ankle and sitting out this last minute and a half.
74 all, 2 clutch free throws by Luis Scola. That's the play.
Yep.
And that's the play in which he injured it. So he's unavailable for the last 21.1.
Let's see if Argentina can do something to disrupt Spain's flow here, because Spain ideally just wants to take the last shot. See if there's any kind of trapping or pressure.
All right, here we go. And a foul called on Sanchez.
Now, that looks intentional in terms of fouling with a purpose.
And Jose Calderon.
The amazing thing about this, Calderon 10 for 11 from the line in this tournament.
He's missed a couple tonight.
Okay.
But you're right. I mean, a good free throw shooter. I've got him 4 out of 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was 10 for 11 coming in, now 4 for 7. The old Jimmy V move. They fouled early to get the ball back, even though they gave up the free throws.
So it's Spain by 1, but Argentina with a chance at the lead.
Argentina's got to play quickly now. They can't afford to run it down.
Here goes Ginobili.
Oh, could have been a charge.
Nocioni. And with 3 seconds left, Spain has it and has the win. Spain goes to the gold medal game to meet Greece on Sunday.
Well, a guy that improved his shooting this year had the opportunity and couldn't knock it down. Nocioni.
That would be 10 straight wins for Spain over Argentina. And a tough loss for Argentina, and they will be the opponent of the United States in the bronze medal game tomorrow morning at 6:30 on ESPN2. Spain survives by 1 to play Greece for the gold medal in the 2006 FIBA World Championship. There's a look at how the semifinals went. Greece with the upset win over the U.S. and Spain with a 1-point win over Argentina. We'll be back. Good news, bad news for Spain. They win by 1 to go to the gold medal game. The bad news, will they have Pau Gasol on Sunday against Greece?
Well, he was carried off the court by Jorge Garbajosa and his brother Marc Gasol. So certainly the celebration continues, but that's going to be 24 or 48 hours. That's the good news of intrigue.
So it's his left ankle and or foot. And time for the Sprite play of the day.
Well, Pau Gasol did not finish this game, but he certainly gave Spain a cushion.
That gave them their first lead.
Yep. Both inside, in transition, pounding the boards, slips to the basket, The N1.
Spain had enough to hold off Argentina, so on Sunday morning at 6:30, Spain will play Greece for the gold medal. Tomorrow morning at 6:30, the United States will play Argentina for the bronze. How do you think the U.S. is going to be able to recover and play that game?
You know, Jim, the question there is, how is Argentina going to be able to recover also? Both teams bitterly disappointed. So you're going to have two teams really playing for not only a bronze medal, but in some eyes playing for what many thought would have been the gold medal. So it'll be interesting. I always said in these situations as a coach that the team that comes more ready to play in a situation like that will win that game. But that is a heck of a battle. All four of these teams are clearly the best teams in this field.
All four came in unbeaten, and now just Spain and Greece remain so, going to the gold medal.